Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special day. We are finally here after a month of qualifiers, the Trio Finals Element Fusion Tournament, $1,500 on the line provided by Proletariat, and I am here with my man OSK. How you doing today, my friend?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. You know, it's such a special day today. I had to get all dressed up. You're looking spiffy as well, my friend. And we got to break down this nice little prize pool sponsored by Proletariat. Big thanks to that team over there. But we do have our breakdown of the prize pool here. $750 going to go to the first place finisher today, $250 among the teammates. And we got $500 going to second place and $250 going to third place.
We got a full roster of great teams here today. OSK, can you give me any predictions before we get started in game one?
Now, we were talking just a little bit before this production, and I think we both agree it's going to be very interesting to see how Team Untiered is going to fare in this more stacked event here. The first event that they had, we didn't have so many big teams in that one, and they just ran away with it with over 4,000 points. Never happened before in an element event, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. But that being said, they were very, very dominant in that first game, again, setting a record for elements, so obvious favorite there. But I'm going to also be looking at Team G3 here, Team Dark Horse, as they're formally named. We got a bunch of great solo players that are both individually known for their skill. Player 2, Chaos, and Megaverse. Those three names just in particular, just by themselves, they're enough to put a lot of fear into some of these solo lobbies. So it's going to be very interesting to see, because that first event that they were together, they didn't have a whole lot of team coordination, but they've had some time. They've had 2 weeks to kind of tie that in. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see if that coordination is going to bubble up to the top and make it to that top finish. Now, I do believe that you have two predictions, but one I also want to keep an eye on here. You got to keep an eye on Wingo's Burr as well. That's going to be my pocket pick aside from my top two. They did have Doc filling in on that time that they did qualify, but the team coordination is always there between Wolf, Ashen Frost, and Very Crisp, and it's going to be no different. They're rocking a little bit of a different build with Foresight, usually is what they run, and we've seen time and time again, it works very, very well for them. So let's get into your predictions, Mr. Play.
Yeah. I mean, you got your top two teams as NA, as you said. Untiered is always going to be a threat in these competitive tournaments. I feel like every time I watch them play competitive, they are, as you said, just rolling the lobby. This is a much more competitive set of teams, but we'll see how they fare. I do have my eyes on Nexelinade, though, and that is next. As you said, it's Next, Borsellino, and Syncade. Those are three fantastic individual players. I know Next and Borsellino have been playing a lot of scrims together, as well as in these events themselves. I'm looking at them to maybe make a pop-off performance here. The games are split on NA and EU, so they have an equal shot just like everybody else to have an insane set of games. And I would really love to see them take home that top $750. Now we get over to Thunderthighs. Moktola 1 is in a bit of danger, has a Wolf's Blood as well. You got to think that he might not be too happy with that, as his team is going to make the call to move out of this one.
Yeah, it seems that is the case there, and no real true backline on their team either. So they're either all aggressive or they're all retreating at this point. Maybe we'll be looking at their other teammate here, Millsy, to get a little bit of action from the backline, given the flex pick. But we'll have to see how it plays out, as they are in a little bit of an engagement here. Going to have to keep eyes out for a third party. You know that's going to be the always present danger, and look at that, exactly as I say it, here comes the third party themselves. It's exactly what they wanted to avoid, and this is why teams are so passive in the early game. Plenty of opportunity for someone to swoop in and ruin your day, but it looks like they've successfully gotten on the outside part of this fight. Looks like they'll be directing that third party, directing the energy into their opponents. And as I say that, looks like I've been proven wrong, especially as Moktola gonna go down to Gigabyte. This is Team Kinda Weird collapsing onto Thunder Thighs. It's already one member down, about to be two with Doc there. It will be mostly Millsy keeping it down, and yes, he is the one remaining member. Gonna have to back up, gonna have to retreat, gonna have to do something, or they are completely out, and that is gonna be Kinda Weird taking out Thunder Thighs.
And that is first blood in the tournament. KW takes the first squad wipe of the event. They made a very nice choice to just push into the storm there. Looks like they aren't going to get any form of third party, which is nice for them. They can just take this loot, calm down a little bit, and wait to move through to the next zone. Yeah, definitely a bit of poke coming down, but these teams are starting some scraps. You see now, Wind Goes Burr, Ashencroft on the Tempest, but look at that damage coming from the Conduit Sorcery. Has to back off now, and Very Crisp is low as well. Wolf is the only teammate with some HP to spare, but it's quickly going. Very Crisp does get disrupted by Kamsky, and now we see Ashencroft trying to do what he can in this fight, but he's also going to get bursted down. Multiple players will start jumping on him as Wolf falls. This should be a full wipe for Team G3 in the kill feed, as well as the team that we're seeing fight in front of us. But look at this. Ashenfrost might get a red ball. What a clean, quick decision. If he can pick up both teammates through the storm, this is game-changing for Win Goes Bird.
Absolutely, and you see the zone has stopped. They have 15 seconds to rotate off to that next zone, and this next one after this final rotation is going to be huge damage on their health, so definitely need to be able to rotate off. Looks like they're going to get all members up. That's going to be Crisp immediately going down. That's T-Foul on Conduit, indeed on Conduit. Going to go ahead and shock him down. That's going to be Wolf going down as well, and Ashenfrost is just left out to dry here, having to rotate off, completely switch up his positioning. I don't think there's any saving his teammates at this point. This might just be it. There's a thirst coming out from Elpadog onto Very Crisp. You have to imagine Wolf is going to be the next one on the chopping block. Ashenfrost having to play the zone for right now. No health potions though, so we'll need to full commit, and looks like this will be the case. The updraft coming out, looking for any kind of evasion that he can get out, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Switching on over to Elpadog here. We do see in the kill feed that that's going to be a little bit of a troll team there. T-Foul and Kamsky, not the actual players, are going to go ahead and go down both to Elpadog. Now we have Team UT rotating out towards this front wall of Halcyon on the southern side. Just looking to kind of farm up. This is Ashenfrost most definitely in the sky right there, trying to get a little bit of damage off, and that's going to be IMQT taking out Chartizan. That's going to be, looks like Death taking out yet another target. Lots of disruptions, lots of action, and G3 with a nice squad wipe.
Yeah, but this is also where UT excels, in my opinion, in these scrappy, chaotic fights. They are so good at keeping themselves leveled. You see Kamsky take down Kunzi, and now player 2 falls to Kamsky as well. Kamsky's on a tear here in game 1. Chaos has to try to respond now, but the firewall comes down. He is getting bursted by multiple members of UT, and that looks like G3 might just fall here. We might be left with a 3v3 situation. Chaos is the only one left for his team, and he does go. UT takes it on, and now we should have a 3v3 fight here. Looking at it, we got Darkbreakers and Kuzi, and I believe Ashenfrost should actually still be in the game hiding somewhere, so it's a 2v1v3 as Darkbreakers goes up. He's on his patented build with the Stone in the Wind, jumping on the backside now. Look at the damage, so close to getting this one down. Elpadog will fall, and that one goes to Darkbreaker's squad. I believe he is representing IMQT with Marcus, aka Apostle, and KQZ. What a game and what a turnaround from the two last players on that squad. Not Blank throwing down the firewall, dropping a little bit of artillery from deep, but not a lot of damage coming out. When you're playing against players of this quality and you're throwing out fireballs from that range, it's very low chance that any of them connect.
Yeah, and this might just be a little bit of a distraction from the other team, just kind of just have them rotate off of that preferred spot. That might be the play, but like you said, not really going to be much doing. Now Next going to have to dodge the meteors from above and have to burn one of the Shadow Steps. No movement options on him. This is a very dangerous spot for Next. Gonna have to see how he works his way out of this one, but they are coming off a cooldown now. That's gonna be an immediate rune burn right there. That's gonna be the Vanishing Mist. Another 7 seconds where he can't really do much in terms of movement. Trying to land his shots, not gonna land that one, but will get a little bit of Toxic Spray, but that's gonna be Borsalino gonna go down to SKT Dark B. That's the Darkbreakers on Team IMQT. Going to go ahead and get that disruption. Next is the only remaining member of his team for Team Next Selenade. So going to have to play it safe. I'm not sure if Borsalino is going to be saved here. Maybe just try to last until the late game to get those placement points. But for right now, not looking too good. It's going to be G3 getting a nice exile onto Cam Sucks. Kind of weird, going to lose one member. That's Team IMQT also going to lose a member. That's Marcus, aka Apostle, falling to T-Fel on Conduit. And this might be where exactly they are. That might be IMQT holding down the avant-garde area. And this is going to be Chaos just looking for any kind of snipes. We know he's so good at landing these. We know the kind of power that he can dish out on this Pyromancer Frost build. So let's see if he can rotate off to this mountain and get a clear shot. Not looking like it for right now, though.
Yeah, I mean, his teammate is taking a lot of damage, though. Player 2 just got his reset, but he is low. Chaos is now trying to fill in that gap, looking for the Frost Snipe. Oh, he hits the 51 on the tip. Nice take from him. We'll see if he can get a follow-up. It is too far away. Looking at the kill feed, though, UT is also wreaking some havoc. Wind Goes Bird, 2 of their members have fallen, and it looks like they may just get squad wiped. Now we see G3 taking the rotation. Chaos actually going on the aggressive. The front foot here. Misses the frost shot that would have been a crucial snipe and hits the 43 though. Nice follow-up from Chaos as now he's going to take a bit of time. He dealt that damage. Now he can look to pot, put out that pressure. We'll see what G3 can do. They need to get a bit more compact though. OSK, they are separated, and this is when they may get exposed for it. Megaverse does have enough armor in his inventory to keep on drinking up, and player 2 needs a bit of time to reset, but Chaos has no time. He's running straight into the flames. Player 2 does go down, but Chaos gets a nice quick explosion onto Death SB, taking him down. And now we have a trade in the 1v1, but the Storm will claim the kill. 11 people left in the circle. Chaos is the only one remaining for G3. Can he make a play here? Taking the Firefly through the firewall, jumping up to the high ground, holding it down and dropping in, but missing too many fireballs. And that will be his life as he falls. 8 people left in the game. Cam is 1 HP, is literally 1 HP, as he's dropping down now with these boulders, but he can't get the exile. Enough damage, but not enough follow-up, OSK.
Oh my goodness, look at the chaos going down. This is Gamma's 1 HP, just doing everything he can to land any kind of damage. Almost hits the fireball, but not going to connect. Oh my goodness, this is such an unfavorable position for him, but look at the recovery. He's doing so well despite the high damage. Now it's literally 4 HP. Gonna dodge the boulder. Oh my god, how is he alive right now? He is just doing so well on staying alive, but that will be the end of him. T-Foul gonna take him out. Only 2 exiles for him, but a ton of damage and a ton of hang time in the air as well. This is T-Foul, the last member of Team UT. Hopefully it's going to be a first place finish, but it doesn't look like it from the get-go. Now we have T-Foul trying to dodge 2 players shooting fireballs at him. Not really going to do much. Holding the dominant position, trying to get its res through the firewall, but it won't work. But that's a lot of hot potato coming out saying, hey, I don't want to hold on to this. You can take it if you want. But that's so much damage going his way as well. This might be a full squad on him, and it's not going to be enough. That's going to be not blank coming out, and that's going to be Team Kinda Weird taking game number 2.
That was a weird little kill feed interaction, though. We have to double check with the scores if that was KW who took that final kill. We will wait and see, because it came down to just 2 other teams remaining. I believe you are right, but nonetheless, that was an insane set once again. Back-to-back chaotic games, and it looks like because of the slow pace to start the matches, we are getting 20, 25, 28 people in these final fights. OSK, it's almost too much to break down as a caster.
Now, you do have a point. What is it?
Borsalino was the one to take that kill. So that was actually next to Linade who won the game. It was not KW, I don't think. KW had the disruption onto Kamsky and onto the other player on UT Elpadog. So then the kill onto T-Fel came from Borsalino. It was Borsa who won that game. It was next to Linade who took that WOSK. That changes everything going into game 3. What is this event? Kamsky loading up, trying to pull it off here. Doesn't quite get it to connect, but Elpadog just throwing in those boulders for the AoE damage. They have to watch their flank though, OSK. This could be a risk if somebody decides to pop up on UT from behind and full engage.
I'll tell you what, this is a great position to be firing into Fort Halcyon, but it's not really that great for other angles. As you did mention, they do have a wide flank that they do need to keep track of, and you're seeing, it looks like Elpadog in the minimap, just kind of keep an eye on all that. He might be in a little bit of an engagement himself. He is taking a little bit of damage. They'll have to completely disconnect from the Halcyon area, but Kamsky on the Frost just saying, hey, I can get a little bit of cover from afar over here if you want to take the front line. Now Kamsky actually looking to completely rotate off into the Fort Halcyon area. Enough pressure has been dealt, and they will go ahead and take over this dominant position. But as we see the zone completely rotated off, nice shot coming out from Kamsky, looking for number 2. That's going to be another one. Ooh, the damage coming out. That's only half health on his Blind Faith opponent. Just needs one more shot to connect here. That's going to be just a missed little shadow step. Very, very close. And no follow-up from his team there to really take that exile. As I say, that Doc is going to go down by the hand of Elpadog. So that's one member of, it looks like Team Thunder Thigh is going to go down. This might be another member going down by the hand of Kamsky. Just kind of taking a drawn-out approach to this fight. Not really fully committing to all this, and you can see why. So much opportunity for third parties coming out. This is another 21-person final circle place. This is going to get yet another chaotic circle.
And this is a disaster for UT. Kamsky was not able to get the full reset, had to dodge the boulders, but still took residual damage, and now his whole team is just chunked. Kamsky does fall to Chaos, and G3 might be able to mop this up with the rest of the team. We're looking at Megaverse now. Has that spring step, so much HP and armor to work with. Can he make the clutch play? Player 2 drops next, and it looks like G3 is just holding the central position, trying to deal the damage, but something is happening to Megaverse. He's getting stuck in the ground, and he gets blown up. Unfortunately, we're We're going to have to figure out exactly what just happened right there. But nonetheless, his team is going to have to try to clean up. All sorts of players still fighting. And it looks like most players are low HP at that. Somebody jumps onto Chaos and he trades evenly. Darkbreakers is on his own. IMQT is fully wiped out. Can he make the clutch 1v3? Nobody to look for right now. Both of his teammates are on the other side of that hill, but Darkbreakers is not afraid. That focused mana 58. Marcus, aka Postal, gets the exile onto Nigel that was delayed because Marcus is already still down. Darkbreaker takes the flight rune, throwing himself up there. He will have 2 boulders off cooldown, and this could be his moment to throw down some burst and make a play. 9 players left in the game, but 2 of them are down, as you can see with this little spot on the map. OSK, I don't know what Darkbreakers can do here to try to 1v3 2 different teams.
I'll tell you right now, he's not going to find a better rarity of Frost. Look at player 2 deal out the damage, though. That's Wind Goes Burr, and that's Chaos with the final hit onto Ashen Frost there, along with player 2. Oh my goodness, what a slam coming out from your Darkbreakers! Look at all the damage coming out. That's another one. That's another combo. One more slam will do it for Megaverse. Oh my goodness, the slaps coming out, the residual damage, the small slaps. Darkbreaker's just looking for his next angle of attack here. The boulders are flying, the stones are slamming, and that's another victory for Team IMQT.
Oh my goodness, the Darkbreakers just went crazy in game 3. That was a legitimate 1v3. He picked up Marcus, aka Apostle, had 40 HP. He fell, and Darkbreaker said, "Let me handle it, OSK." What a match.
It looks like Nemo's getting a little bit of pressure onto him, though. They might be in 2 separate engagements on 2 separate squads. Nigel holding down the fort over here, though. He's doing a very, very good job. Nemo already getting the reset. What a fireball! Porcelino gonna go down and sit. That is going to be an amazing pickup by Nigel, and that is an amazing pickup by Team CNT. What a fireball plays.
The second he let that one go, it looked online. Nigel just beaming Borsalino to get the drop, following up a very good engagement from him, but now his team is getting pushed off just a little bit. They know this is a 2v3. Nigel just has to wait 5 seconds to get this potion off before they engage fully. Nemo, you can see, is a bit low, but Dwerky's up there doing some damage. You can see Borsalino's body still on the ground, and Nigel might just go for the assassination, throws down the firewall, tries to dish out a bit of trade damage, gets a nice direct shot for 36 with Ignite ticking, and Syncade also follows up due to Nemo's pressure. This may be the last member here, as Nigel just looking to eat. One more fireball will do it. Shadow Step is off cooldown. He goes for it right now. Close up top. One more next falls with a beautiful little toe shot from Nigel. 2 different separate kills. Nigel sniping out with the fire, doing some great tracking all the way through. Nice to see CNT pop off at the start, and OSK, it looks like our dreams have been achieved. CNT starting off aggressive. Yeah, nice movement from Chaos to keep himself on his toes, avoiding a lot of that AoE fire damage coming out from the combustion, or sorry, the conflagration, and now we see him land a beauty onto Not Blank, sniping right through that line of sight to connect and finish. We got to imagine that his team will be pushing up on that body, trying to spot out the final members, looking for the angle now. Chaos just barely misses that frost shot, getting up onto another high ground. He's looking to hit these as he's just connecting back to back. One more to go, gets it over the top of the explosion. Nice follow right there from Chaos as his team comes to clean up. They do have to be careful though, with 19 people still left in the game. This is certainly not a decided game, but Chaos sneaks that frost over the ledge while his teammate goes and mops it up. Nice play right there. G3 doing a fantastic job of dealing damage while staying compact as a unit.
Man, that's a lot of damage coming out of Chaos's right hand right there. His frost is on point today. And of course, great teammates to follow up. So we'll have to see if he lands this little snipe right here. Let's get back to the action. That's going to be a nice dragon fire going, by the way, at Chaos. And that's another follow-up boulder by Megaverse. That's going to be Team CNT sat down by Team G3. Looks like the pop-off might not be quite as big as we thought it would be. G3 is out here saying, we're consistent. Doesn't matter what server we're on. We're going to take it either way. And we have Chaos on our team rocking these beautiful snipes. We got Megaverse following up with these boulders. Not much you can do, my friend. Sit down, get ready for the next game.
Yeah, Chaos is such a consistent player in these events, though. I feel like every time I watch him, he's making the right decision. Sometimes it doesn't quite come out and translate into damage, but Chaos just seems like he always knows what his plan is, what his objectives to the match are. He's always watching the game state as he looks to just take this fight now. Jumping down does take a lot of damage off that blown up cloud. He is down to just flesh, spots out this opponent resin, gets one to go, but can't quite follow it up. Kamsky on Pyro goes down to player 2, and it looks like G3 is doing their best to try to mop this up, but none of their teammates other than player 2 have much HP to spare. Chaos just weaves one onto Gigabyte. He is timing these shots beautifully, OSK.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, man, that right hand's got to be tired because that's another bit of damage. Looking for the flick, but not going to get that one quite yet. The luck had to run out at some point. Thankfully, it's not enough for his exile. Now that will be a little bit of a disruption going by the way of player 2. This is going to be a team, looks like Curse, that Seaside coming out, finally showing themselves out in this event right here. EU being their friend. And now we see Chaos with the quick little reset. Not quite close enough to get player 2 up. He's going to eat Dragonfire for trying for a little bit too long. Trying to land the Frost. One more will do it. He's floating. There it is. T-Foul will go down to Chaos. This might just be a turn in the scores, ladies and gentlemen. Have to just wait and see how this unfolds. But Chaos in a great position, great amount of cover to land these Frosts. Just needs to connect onto one opponent. Unfortunately, that will be 3 in a row where he does not. That's a nice fireball coming out, though. That's a lot of Ignite going on his way. There is no shield on his opponent. That's going to be a lot of zone damage, though. Needs to be very, very careful. Needs to reposition as well. Oh, man, this could be the end of Chaos if he's not careful. It's looking very, very muddled, and that will be the end. Cursed is going to take him out. That's Seaside with one more opponent to go. And that's Team UT going to go down. Seaside showing themselves up here.
Nice fight from Seaside right there to stay calm and stay collected as they moved into those final fights. Beautiful to see them show up on the board. We know that Kirst and Casper have some good synergy when they play together, and that is just it on display for you guys. Nice little W in that Game 5 situation. We still have 3 more matches to go. Looking over at next to Linade, we got next rotating through, looking for a bit more loot, is going to get that epic chest off, and the scrolls are going to be nice and consistent for him as he keeps reading up that fervor. Definitely a talented, definitely a good talent to have when you're fighting in these one-on-one situations. Fervor with that fire can really blow somebody up and blow them up quickly.
Yeah, not to mention focus mana. Looks like he's going to get all the pieces of the puzzle here. All the pieces of the Millennium Puzzle are coming into effect here. Going to summon up that nice little Pharaoh tech, and we're going to get some nice damage out here. Thankfully, Next has done the best job of surrounding his opponent here along with Borsellino. This is going to be a lot of damage coming out here. The Tempest is going to have a bad day. Everyone knows that you can't fly against a conduit, and that's going to be the end of Pro Gamer 69. You might be pro here, but Next is more of a pro. I have more of aim. I have more of damage. What a beautiful collateral on Maktola there. I actually didn't know it could collateral. That's very, very nice. But anyway, going to get back into the action here as they are fighting outside of the zone. Team Thunderthigh is doing the best that they can to sort of seal this one out here. That's going to be Q Kuzi getting Millsy, though. This is Team IMQT. They might trade Thirsts here, but it looks like Thunderthighs is going to completely rotate up to try to prevent any sort of disruption that the other team has. So IMQT doing a good job of keeping them off their opponent, or keeping them off their teammate here. Just looking to get some damage. That's going to be Doc going down to Team T-Dark B. And this might just be the end of Team Thunderthighs here.
Yeah, Maktola should be falling here. Unfortunately, getting a quick little spike as he's just going to back up into the storm, trying to do what he can with the common lightning, but the damage is just not there for him. Pushing up forward, this opponent should be able to finish him off. That is the Darkbreakers taking out Team Thunderthighs. 20 people left in the game. Marcus should be able to get rezzed here. They should be okay to just pick them up and recalibrate their attack. 16 people left, though. I think this is the least amount of players going into a final circle we've had so far today, and that should tell you enough about how these games have been going in general. Just super chaotic final fights as Syncade and his team will look to push up now. They are fighting from bottom side to a high ground. We'll see what they can do with this type of effort. Borsellino is on the far side as Syncade decides to really back up and maybe get a bit more space for himself. Don't know exactly what this call is. He might be telling his team that he wants to rotate far side first before going into that direct fight. They are popping off a couple shots, though. Syncade takes a massive Frost Knife incoming. He has that focused mana. He is able to deal damage consistently if he's able to get the shots to go. But the key is just not leaving yourself exposed to take shots like that, OSK. Syncade is going to have to take a second to reset as now they're going to get jumped on. They have to just do what they can to make it work. They're going to push backwards. Syncade S-key dashes, throws out a couple fireballs, doing some desperation shots here, looking for new angles. But OSK, they are just doing what they can with so much pressure pushing onto them. Multiple teams are going to be able to spot them on this low ground, and they got to move, and they got to move quickly.
Yeah, this would be a prime opportunity for them to just completely hard rotate off to the maze if they can. You can see it's pinged out on the mini-map here. That's definitely where they want to go, but they're just finding so much difficulty with all these teams here to make anything, very worthwhile. So I'm definitely gonna have to play this one just a little bit smarter than they currently are. They're really lingering around this hill, and I'm not really sure why. Syncade is taking a lot of punishment due to that, and it's really just completely excluding him out of the fight that Borsellino is currently in. As you can see, he's not going to be able to take a 1v3 here. He does get the shield almost completely off. Thankfully, he had a little bit of pre-pot going on, so he does get that one back. But yeah, this is definitely not the best place to be, and it's going to be completely closed out as well as we're seeing the zone come in. Right where Syncade is where the barrier of the zone is going to be here in a few seconds. So definitely need to do a better job of rotating off. This is not an ideal place for anybody. Only Borsellino can really make good use of this flat ground as he is the Stone Shaper, and no one's rocking in an offhand stone at this point. So Syncade trying to hold it down as best as he can. Borsellino going to be the lone Stone Shaper again to try to keep them safe. That's a nice shot. That's Elpadog going to go down. This is a great advantage that they built for themselves. Now they can sort of rotate off to that mountain. Looks like they're pinging it out right here. This is the prime opportunity for them to rotate up. Good job by them to finally get something going, and it's looking like that's exactly what they want to do. Hopefully Syncade can find a nice angle for their Frost, but playing it very, very safe.
Yeah, Syncade doing some nice movement on the low ground here, trying to dodge out all these different little fireballs coming through, throwing those shots. You can see him just skimming them right over the top of the horizon line, trying to catch some shins exposed. He did hit a beautiful snipe onto Elpadog, who was trying to fly away, and now it looks like Kamsky has also fallen to next. Only Tfal is remaining for Team UT, and that is going to be a desperate state for them. Not 100% sure if Elpadog was able to get res because he did get shot in the middle of the circle. There might have been enough space with nobody completely on him to get picked up, but we can't be sure of that quite yet. Syncade, though, still healthy as next takes down Craig Cusey with a beautiful shot coming through. Syncade, you can see him working his way back up, just peeking his head over, trying to deal damage when he's not too exposed, keeping himself behind that firewall now. Drops down the dash rune. You see how CNT are really staying compact with the fight no matter what. Next does get another snipe. This time it's with a lightning onto Kamsky, or I apologize, Darkbreaker's finished off Tfal to take the kill, and the rest of the kills go down to CNT for credit. Throwing it down though, Syncade just spotted out that res and is going to make this a cleanup effort. Almost gets the snipe onto the last member of IMQT. Can't quite get it to reach over the top now. That must be the Darkbreakers standing his way up there, throwing down those boulders from flight. Bouncing the perspective over to next now, taking a quick pot. Focus Mana with no talent stacks, but he's still dishing damage, throwing out those lightnings. 2+11 on the armor break. Now next, back up on the high ground. Look at him just keep his feet moving, OSK, always repositioning, always trying to target assess, always looking for more damage that he can push out. Borsellino gets a disrupt of the chaos, and it looks like this squad of Nextelino is just popping off today.
Looks like it, and this is definitely the best build you could ask for on next side to really take out Darkbreakers and his patented flight boulder strategy over here. As he flies up, this is a prime opportunity for Next to just bolt him down with all these lightning bolts. Still needs to be careful from all these shockwaves, and also be careful from player 2. G3 is in here too. This is a beautiful flank from them, and that's going to be actually Gigabyte as well. How many extra teams are in this lobby? This is Team G3. We have KW. Kukuzi's going to go out, so that's Team IMQT, and it looks like this Darkbreakers getting the last exile into player 2. This is Darkbreakers versus, I believe, Gigabyte. This is absolutely insane. How did they end up in this situation? But this is going to be Gigabyte's game. KW going to sneak that one out. Wow.
Darkbreakers did hit a beautiful focus mana stone slime onto Gigabyte coming down, but Gigabyte just had enough of an HP advantage to just beam the Darkbreakers and finish off that game. Nice W from KW right there, taking a surprise win. Very shocking to see it break down into a 1v1 in a trios tournament, but you do love to see it. Gigabyte staying calm and collected, finishing us off. We only got 2 more games to go, ladies and gentlemen, and the scores are getting tighter and tighter.
I'll tell you what, man, Darkbreakers is living his dream of being a living AC-130 in the air as he's just looking for the lineup on these boulders. It's not going to find any big boulders just yet. It looks like he's going to be waiting for the very, very late game to make that happen. But Tfal on Conduit making a great job, or doing a great job rather, of just pressuring his opponent. It's going to be too much pressure for Wolf. He will get popped. And that is just 1 member remaining for Team Wingo's Burr. Ashenfrost is going to be the last one remaining, and he will find a nice disruption onto Death. So they are just searching for this last little member here. Tfal doing a great job on Stone Shaper. 4 exiles already, not even in the complete late game yet, so we'll see how that develops. But doing a great job as Team Untiered. Can this boulder connect? Oh, that's very, very close. Nice maneuvering by the opponent there. Still looking for Ashen Frost, but keep in mind that Chris and Wolf are not completely thirsted yet. So there's opportunity. What? Oh my goodness! Can we call that an avalanche? My goodness, what a hitbox going all the way down that mountain. That took me off guard.
Yeah, that went all the way down, and he hit it on the backside too. T-Fel dropping a sly 100 damage onto that poor player from below. T-Fel, though, still sitting up on the side. This is a very great cliff to use those stone shockwaves, and you just saw an example of it. T-Fel dropping with that spring step, keeping his feet moving. Also, remember, ladies and gentlemen, that Elpadog is rocking the Frostborn. This is a decent spot for him to play a Frostborn final circle. He can find a high ground, shoot some big damage. All that matters is, can he land the snipes themselves? T-Fel is looking to hit some hard air shots from deep with the fire. Elpadog does get a disrupt onto Blank, so that should answer your question about can he hit the shots. 12 people remaining though. T-Fel is in a bit of a pressure situation. He might get collapsed on. He's not quite linked up with the rest of his team, but nonetheless, Elpadog is going to come give him a little bit of moral support, throwing down those shockwaves. Doesn't get it to go, but he gets actually hit hard on the backside. It looked like a frost snipe that came his way, but T-Fel just says, forget about it. It's my time to deal the damage. Doesn't get those shockwaves to go, but he's just going to keep on pressing forward. Firewall is almost up off cooldown. He can use that to his advantage here. One more tick will do it, but Kamsky takes it right in front of him. KQZ will fall, and UT is looking to clean up this game 7.
Oh my goodness, give this man a broom. Absolutely sweeping through here, and also landscaping his front yard a little bit on that Stone Shaper class. Now it's just 2 enemies remaining. This is one of them just floating up here. Darkbreakers is down, so this is a completely different opponent. We'll have to see who it is whenever we get the exiles off. It looks like Gigabyte will go ahead and disrupt Elpa in the kill feed, though, so this might be Gigabyte that we're looking at here. Not sure if he has another teammate floating around. T-Foul keeping an eye out for it, but it's just nothing happening. What a nice fireball by T-Foul, though. That's going to be Game 7, Team UT back on top in first place.
KW is doing a really good job of kiting backwards, not overcommitting, and still dishing out damage where they can find windows of opportunity.
Yeah, and they do a really good job of disguising their movement with the zone, too. We've seen this multiple times from them today, where they'll go out of the zone, they'll use the blinding effect that the Spellstorm has, and they'll actually just completely rotate and enter on the almost the opposite side, and it looks like that's what they're doing right now. They're a master of this. They do this every single time almost every single time we watch them in the mid-game. So always it's a good plan if you're going into, let's say, maybe some of your solo queue games, to pick up this sort of strategy if you're in a tough spot. If you're not in the best position, you can always go outside of the Spellstorm and reposition completely while the enemy team is unaware of your position itself. Especially if you see an Ice Lance coming out of the Spellstorm, you're like, where did that come from? It's got to be within the storm. No, it's actually someone just camping the outside. So interesting strategy, but one that's very effective. Now it looks like they've been found out, though. Cam is going to eat a nice little fireball and a lot of dragon fire. Ran through a lot of fire puddles that were ignited with dragon fire. Going to have to get out of there in a hurry. Unfortunate for him to find himself on that position, but it looks like he will have a little bit of time to heal up. Unfortunately, Blank will not have that luxury as he is being thirsted right now. Let's see if Cam can get it, and it will not, but Blank is okay. There will not be a thirst. They have fended it off for now.
And Gigabyte also got a disrupt onto Darkbreaker, so this is not all going poorly for Team KW. It actually really flipped in their favor. For a half second, I thought Cam's missed snipe would cost their teammate his life, but as you said, somebody else managed to come up and clean up. Gigabyte holding onto his team's back. We see Cam is 1 HP, trying to do what he can here on the backside, throwing out damage onto an unarmored target. You would have expected him to maybe push a bit harder into that fight, but deciding that his teammate's positioning is more important than possibly thirsting that exile. 12 people left, so you have to assume that it's 4 teams of 3, but we see the snipes coming out. 84 from Cam is 1 HP. He takes a fireball for his troubles, but still, that shot connected, and it did big damage onto Elpadog. I believe that was Elpadog coming from Team UT based on his skin and gauntlet orientation, but now we see Cam is 1 HP, still doing what he can to dodge damage. He's doing a really fantastic job of dodging out line of sight, but it looks like it's not going to be enough now. They're pushed all the way to the backside. There's nowhere for Team KW to go except for forward, and OSK, they're going to have to fight this one out.
Yeah, definitely, but they do have a good position that Cam just gave up. Oh no, Next gonna go ahead and find his easy target right there. They gave up the mountain, which was a dominant position going into this next zone, but Next is just saying, hey, you make a mistake and I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of it. Now Cam is at the bottom of this valley. That's his orb right there to the right-hand side of your screen. It's going to be very difficult for Team KW to make that up, and that's going to be Sincade taking out another member of Team KW. Now it is just Gigabyte yet again. Maybe he'll make it into the late game, maybe not, but we'll have to see some more flight shenanigans to see if he actually pulls this one out. So far, next to Linate doing a great job of pushing their advantage here, taking control of this mountain, and this is exactly what they need to do if they want to get into a better position in the scores.
Yeah, they do need to make some big plays here. Borsalino does spot out this entire team rotating on the Frost Alacrity. He is going to make his push now. Throws out the fireball, but doesn't quite get it to go. It was a bit of a prayer to throw that one out. Borsalino, though, does get this angle for the boulder. That looks promising. He connects onto one target, breaks his armor. Borsalino and his team are pretty much full HP, full armor as well. They are in a dominant position to look to take this game right now. Next to Lincade, looking forward as K Kuzi takes out Darkbreakers and Kamsky on Pyro. That is massive for Team I Am a QT if they can try to flip this game on its head. But still, we are watching Borsalino move his way up. Gigabyte does go down to Sincade at the same time that Not Blank's kill gets credited to Sincade as well. He is having a pop-off on the Frostborn, but now we see the chaos that is going on in UT section. T-Fel connects over the top of the body to finish off a kill, but it looks like he might go down here. Drops down for the shockwave. Dodges out of the way of multiple shots, but it's not quite enough. Too many targets are following him. He will fall. As we wait for this loading screen to please get out of the way, we see a 3v3 clean to decide game 8, OSK.
Oh my goodness, that was an unfortunate team kill, by the way, from QQZ onto Darkbreakers, but it looks like they rezzed him back up, and he is going to go ahead and be a force in this last little engagement. Unfortunately, Mark is going to go down. That's going to be QQZ, so it is just Darkbreakers left, and it looks like next to Linade will clean this up very, very easily. I say that, but he's not dead yet. Where is he? Where could he be? Is he above? Where is he? To the left? Is he right? He is! He flies up, but next has the lightning. This should be an easy exile if he can just land the lightning bolts. Forever waiting for lightning bolts. Just needs a little bit more. Man, Darkbreakers is doing a great job of surviving, but Sincade will find him out. That will be the final game. That's next to Linade finally getting a win today. And that's going to be the end of the Element Fusion Finals. Before we get up these scores, I do want to give some special thanks to some of our people behind the scene. We do have Dr. Nutt currently typing out the scores right now. He's the main cameraman, the main observer, and also the one who's streaming this directly to your eyeballs. So thank you to Dr. Nutt, as well as Strofo, our other observer. Always great. Of course, a big thanks to Thunderson, Zen, and all the rest of our graphics team. There are so many to name that I could spend a lot of time on, but we do have our scores all finalized. So without further ado, let's get them up on the score, figure out who won, who's going to take home that $750, the $500 and the $250, $1,500 total. And it's going to be untiered with a score of 2,794.
What a spread of scores right there. So untiered in first place, as you guys can see, IMQT takes home that second place, and G3 finishes third. They beat out next to Linade by only about 70 points to take home that last bit of cash prize. Such a close finish for them, and I know G3 must be happy with that result. You can almost count that third place finish on the pop-off that Chaos had in Game 5, where he was just struggling for his life, dropping as much damage as he could before going down. You can almost assume that that might have pushed them into the third place finish. So it's moments like that that are defining for competitive Spellbreak. What a set of events. I mean, what a set of games. And OSK, break down these final scores a little bit more for me.
Man, I could break them down all day. I really want to give special, and I mean special, commendations to Team IMQT. That was a team that I did not expect at all to finish as high as they did. Not that I thought that they were like, below par or anything, but it just surprised me. Just given the qualifier that they were in, given the score that they had, it's really just a great team effort all around from Marcus, QQZ, and Darkbreakers to really just, disrupt my my expectations there, to really just go beyond what I thought was possible for them. And really just a special individual commendation to Darkbreakers. He really was doing a great job. If you look at these scores, if you look at what his positions are throughout all of these games, minus game 3 where Marcus had a big pop off with all the exiles here, did a great job of just carrying his team to that second place finish.
And with that, I think that is adieu. That is the end of a fantastic set of events. thank you so, so much from the bottom of our hearts for your support. It really means the most to us. We love putting these on for you guys. It really makes a difference that you guys enjoy them as well. So make sure you're joining the Element Discord. Make sure you're interacting with the community if you feel you want to. And with that, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week as well.